Fantasy football drafts are going to be hot and heavy this weekend. Today, I'm going to go over a big batch of players, freestyling on them, going over the advanced analytics, their cost in drafts, how to strategize around them, everything else. Before we dig in, you need to click that subscribe button right now. We're talking about these players every day. We're doing deep dives. We're doing player rankings. We're looking at the lineups. We're helping you set those lineups. And we're also finding gems off the waiver wire this early in the season. Click that button. Stop missing out. Ric Flair's watching. You do not want to disappoint Ric Flair. But starting off today, we got a big wide receiver to look at. And I have some strategies here. We're talking about Zay Flowers. And the main strategy I have here that a lot of people aren't really discussing is that he's the handcuff to Derrick Henry. Because you think the Ravens are going to be the Ravens if Derrick Henry goes down? Because he's Derrick Henry and there's never going to be another Derrick Henry. That being said, they're going to throw it a little bit more. And he was averaging 6.8 targets a game last year with a 25.7% target share. If that target share remains, which it should to some degree, could be 24, could be 26%. That means if the targets go up, he's going to be racking opportunities. The passing volume goes up. He's going to be racking opportunities. ADOT's good. It's in double digits. He can get you production. He proved that in the start of the season. On top of that, his low games aren't too bad. But that would also make him more consistent. Allow him to hit those top end weeks. Make those games where it's so-so. More like higher-end wide receiver 2 games. And that's something you got to think about when you're looking at this offense too. But this is also a wide receiver that's stand alone that can get you production, who's a starter. That's also in line where the wide receiver position's starting to thin out in terms of veteran production. You're getting into dart throw territory with some of these wide receivers, with some of the younger guys there. But he's also a veteran that's very steady in terms of targets per game. Looking at route participation, all the workload he gets. Now you're looking at Stefon Diggs. He's cheap in drafts, and he should be getting a good bit of targets here with the Patriots. Drake May's going to be relying on him heavily. He has never had a wide receiver like this before. We got a lot of young wide receivers on this team that need to step up for Drake May to really hit his upside. But Stefon Diggs, good route runner, good hands. He's still Stefon Diggs with a new team last year. Got you a wide receiver 1 week, 2 wide receiver 2 weeks, mostly in double-digit scoring production. We got another quarterback here that's not afraid to sling the rock. Should be above a 20% target share. I expect the ADOT to be lower. I expect it to be below 10. So that could create some volatility. That could create high-end wide receiver 2 weeks. But at the price tag, especially for the start of the season, considering he's an older player, that's something to pay attention to because he's going to give you some stability. So if you have a rockier foundation at wide receiver, this is a guy that you may draft in the later-esque rounds. He's more of a middle-round guy to really give you some stabilization instead of going with the younger upside plays. Trey Benson is one of my favorite lottery tickets. One of my other favorite lottery tickets went down last night. We'll talk about him later. Trey Benson was a few rounds more expensive last year compared to now. You're catching him cheap. If James Conner goes down, Trey Benson next man up, 4.3 speed. We're in year 2. We're hearing good things. And this is a cheap price considering last year and also this range of the draft. I'll just say it. I love this round right here on Underdog, that round 12 area, a little bit before it, a little bit after it. I love that part of the draft. And I love talking lottery ticket players because that's the best thing to talk about in fantasy football. Because if you just talk about the scope of the player pool, you're really just looking at the average. But if you try to find those lottery ticket players that exceed expectations or get thrusted into an opportunity, that's where you're going to find those pits, those edges in the league where you can get dominant. And those lottery tickets will make you dominant, where you get in the playoffs, you're not even sweating it. Trey Benson at that price tag could be that player. That could be your David Johnson this year. Marvin Harrison Jr., a lot of people down on him, but the target accuracy last year, below standard with Kyler Murray. And on top of that, 22.2% target share, 8 out of 13.5. He's bulked up. He's been looking very strong at the catch point this year in training camp. And with those numbers leading into year 2, looking at where he's at, It's not like there's no question marks with all the wide receivers around him in his range at this point in the draft. He's 2 rounds cheaper than last year. He was going in the first round. So there's upside to look at. Would not be surprised if he's a year 2 breakout, considering everything involved with him. He was a big-time prospect at Ohio State, big-time first rounder, considered a generational prospect, actually has okay numbers for a rookie, had a good rookie ramp. That's a whole season of ramping up. Quarterback play was suspect when it comes to accurate targets, but the workload metrics are there. We're seeing some indicators that we're stepping up a little bit. You could also go to the running backs here and pivot, or just pick the poison you want there at wide receiver. Keon Coleman. Keon Coleman's a guy I'm not drafting much. And it's not because I hate him. I'm usually strong at wide receiver before I get to this point. And I'm looking at some of these upside running backs. But the sell with Keon Coleman is that Gabe Davis effect. And it's in here when you look at the workload metrics. That ADOT 15.2, that average depth of target, deep targets downfield. Target share 15.5. That is something you do not want from your wide receivers. You do not want that. But you're hoping that increases to around 17, 18, 19. That ADOT stays the same. And what you will get is a very spiky wide receiver that's going to be hard to predict. It might get you like 5, 4, 3 big-time wide receiver 1 weeks. Big-time wide receiver 1 weeks. Like 30 pointers, 25 plus. And then a bunch of what you saw last year. Some of you guys would hate it. And depending on your format, how your league's structured, some of you guys will love it. Also by proxy, Joshua Palmer looks like a wide receiver that could do well in this offense. And Elijah Moore's been moved around everywhere in camp. Khalil Shakur's still there. I look for the Bills to have a carousel effect. That means any wide receiver can get it on any given Sunday and be productive for you in fantasy football. Now we're looking at Rashee Rice. Rashee Rice is the team's wide receiver 1. It's a shame that we got to deal with his suspension. He's dropped in price, but he is going to be the team's wide receiver 1. He's going to get you big-time workload, big-time PPR production. He is the guy, and he has been rapidly developing throughout the years. Like, comparing him now to his prospect profile out of college is not the same. Players get better. Players get better over time. If they put in the time, they put in the work. That's what you're getting with Rashee Rice, and he's a better player than what he was last year and the year before. Even after the injuries, he's a better player. He just keeps getting better, and Patrick Mahomes has a good rapport with him. Matthew Golden might be our breakout player. Like, he just might be. I'm doing a full you need video on him, as I'm doing one on all the rookies to start off the season like I do every year. More than just the 4.2 speed, you just see him break off routes. Look at that game against Georgia, and look at the training camp clips. He's been mossing guys. He's had some drops. That's keeping the price from going nuclear. He has been making plays, and he's going to be out there on the field. So at minimum, there's just going to be some games where he goes off and some nada due to the carousel effect and love spreading the ball around. But he looks like he's going to be the team's wide receiver 1. And if you really think about it, you got Dubs, you got Reed there. Reed's coming back from that injury. You look at those wide receivers, none of them were first-round caliber wide receivers to begin with. Golden's got the speed. He's got route running. He's building a rapport quick on this team. And when I mean route running, all wide receivers have that. But he can stop on a dime, break it off, create a lot of separation rapidly. You got to worry about the deep ball with him, but he'll break you off on the short stuff fast. And he's building a rapport in this team. He's had a lot of good plays in camp. And for what he's been doing in camp, it's been awfully quiet. Nobody wants to click his name when I do a video. And I think that's going to burn a lot of folks. Brashard Smith. He got some work with the ones yesterday, caught some balls. This is a prospect that's going to be out there on the field, and we want to watch the routes ran throughout the season. We want to watch the touches. He's in dart throw territory. We lost a player yesterday, and he might take his spot. He should take his spot when it comes to upside status, because really it's just high-end late round rookie running backs that could get thrusted into an opportunity. Brashard Smith's good at catching the ball in the backfield. He's a former wide receiver. He's got 4.3 speed. He can be moved around the offense. He could be the Chiefs' Jerick McKinnon. And now you're looking at Will Shipley. If Barkley goes down, he's getting the work. He's getting the opportunity. This was a former 5-star recruit. He's good at catching the ball in the backfield. He runs routes well compared to what he did at Clemson during his high school days. You check that footage out, and you're seeing him break off routes. That's in his game. He's good carrying the ball up the gut. He's going in double-digit rounds, so you got a good ADP variance between him and Barkley, so it's cheap if you want to do it. He's fallen out of drafts because everybody's expecting Barkley to be unstoppable and unbreakable, but running backs are running backs, so you got to think about your insurance policies. Pat Bryant is the wide receiver going in double-digit rounds. That's not being thought of a lot, but I can see him being a starting wide receiver somewhere down the line this season for the Denver Broncos. You could pick him up off the waiver wire somewhere down the line. I would try and be a week early if so, just in case. He's making big plays in camp. He's good running slants, sticky hands. Sean Payton loves wide receivers that are good at running slant, a la Michael Thomas. But you're looking at a wide receiver here that could have some upside here with the Denver Broncos. Now you're looking at Tyron Tracy. He's going to be the guy for the Giants. He's going to be the starter. We watched Skattebo the other day in preseason. He's still ramping up to the speed of the game. Tracy's going to start off as the man here with the speed to burn. On top of that, he's good catching the ball in the backfield. Had a good rookie season. Skattebo needs time to ramp up. It's quite evident when you're looking at the clips from his performance, even though it's just a couple carries. Also, he's coming back from an injury, so he hasn't really been out there. So he's going to need some time to ramp up. That just makes sense. So he's a later round option. You got to wait for. Skattebo is. Tyron Tracy's your option for the now, and the upside's still there. RJ Harvey, pure upside, and he's a guy that everybody wants. And you have to strategize around that because there could be a little bit of a rookie ramp up. Make sure you're locked down with a good running back before you get him. That way you're not naked with RJ Harvey because you might have a slower start to the season before he goes kaboom on you, before he blows up and becomes that RB1 that you've been hoping for. It may take a few games. It may take till like week 6, week 10, or something like that. He might be up and down prior to that. He might give you a couple good games. But RJ Harvey has the potential to explode. It could be week 1. That's not a call-out. That's a call-out on your strategy with him. Make sure you're good to go. You get a running back, round 1, round 2. Now you're locked in. You can get your Hendo. You can get your Harvey. Maybe Kaleb Johnson if you're going that route. Maybe some other dart throw you want to go with, but make sure you're good on the top end. Zach Charbonnet is a good running back. He's going in double-digit rounds. Kenneth Walker gets hurt, you're going to want him. He may end up on the waiver wire due to how these running backs are in and out of the lineup. If that happens and you feel like he could be getting opportunities, or if you're not feeling good about Kenneth Walker, even if he's not on your team, pick him up. He's a good running back prospect that can get you RB1 numbers. He's shown that upside, and that's something to look at. You're looking at Tony Pollard here. He's a safe running back prospect. Tajay Spears could be out for a little bit, and he's going to get the workload. He's going to get the touches. This offense looks like it's going to be moving a little bit better this year, but could be up and down and volatile. They're going to have to lean on him, but he's going to get the workload. He's going to be a steady RB2. He's going to be safe. The only thing that you'll have to worry about that is injuries, but he's still explosive, still good at finding a hole. He's going to be a huge piece to this offense to keep this offense going. Quinshon Judkins is the upside play in the double-digit round you want to look at. This is probably one of the main lottery tickets. He shouldn't be in lottery ticket range, but he is because he's going to have a long ramp-up time. If he falls to the waiver wire, pick him up because I know fantasy gamers can't be patient, and he could be falling to the waiver wire after weeks 1, 2, and 3. But he's a lottery ticket for somewhere down the line this season. He's going to get his opportunity. This team is trying to win. That's why they are using Flacco. They're trying to hold on tight, win the turnover battle, win it with defense, and make those 1 to 2 plays a game to hopefully eke out some wins. And if they're doing that and they're desperate enough throughout the season, Judkins will get thrusted up there. He will get thrusted up there. And he's got first-round talent. He killed it in SEC as a freshman, which is hard to do. Killed it at Ohio State. And this is a running back that could be on the verge of breaking out very soon. Omarion Hampton's going to break out this year. The only question is when. Is it going to be week 1, week 6, next year? He's going to break out. He's going to get the workload. He's going to get the touches. Najee Harris hasn't been out there. Last I saw, he was walking circles around the field. Omarion Hampton's got the speed. He needs to catch up to the speed of the game a little bit. He needs some time. He may need a ramp-up period. But Omarion Hampton is going to be the guy for the Chargers, and he's going to be a guy for a long time. He has top 10 potential as a rookie, if not top 5 potential. Omarion Hampton going around 4, round 3 in drafts usually when I'm looking at the draft boards. Jaydon Blue got hurt last night, and I'm not expecting him, healthy or hurt, to hit week 1. I'm looking at him as a lottery ticket dart throw for the whole season, and he could get his moment somewhere down the line throughout the season. Week 1, 2, 3, 10, 11, 12, I don't care. If I can hold him that long, cool. The fact that he's banged up and there's a million lottery ticket running backs, you can pick your poison now. I did a video on him last night during the game, or right before the game. It came out during the game, and everything holds true. He's just a lottery ticket running back. If anything, he's got a lot of potential, and he never lived up to it, especially in college. And that might be the case throughout his career with the Cowboys. Even if he has a good run of games, he may never live up to his potential. That's something to look at because that's been the history here with Jaydon Blue. You also want to look at Phil Maffa, but that's not in the scope for traditional 12-team fantasy leagues. More dynasty, more deeper leagues where you have to stretch it out trying to find those diamonds in the rough. George Pickens, what I like about him, he's going to get a good target share, 20+%. He doesn't have to be the guy, so he's going to be mossing up on wide receiver 2s, 3s, safeties, and they're going to be moving him around. They're doing a lot more motion this year. They're going to have to rely more on the pass. His ADOT, though, double-digit easy. 13.6 last year, somewhere around that range. He's going to have big moments. He's going to be volatile, but he's probably going to get you 3 to 5 wide receiver 1 weeks, 25+ pointers, 20+ pointers, call it out like that. A fair amount of wide receiver 2 games. The low games will be bad because he's sharing the field with Lamb. Ferguson's going to get work. There's going to be games where the Cowboys struggle too. They just always have that, where nothing's firing. A couple games a year. But he's going to be solid this year, and he's cheaper compared to like a T. Higgins, who's projected to score very similar. Jacory Croskey-Merrit is a name everybody's paying attention to. We love him because he's free and cheap. Now he's not free and cheap. So if he jumps up heavy in your draft, like do not be pulling up rounds 3, 4, 5 on him just because there's hype. Because what we liked about him is he was going round 16, 15. You're picking him up off the waiver wire, and you were potentially getting starter touches. Now that's not happening. You're potentially getting starter touches, but now you're starting to pay for that. So now there's more risk. Keep that in mind. If it's earlier than like round 8, you're going to have to think about the player pool and the opportunity cost of the players around him. Christian McCaffrey, you just got to think whether you want him or you're not. I like him. I think he's going to be fine this year, but also the injury history's baked in. He is going to give you top end weeks. He's going to be using the passing game. They do not have wide receivers. They got Ricky Pearsall, and that's about it. They had to trade for Sky Moore, but he has week-to-week upside. He's going to get a lot of touches. He's still Christian McCaffrey. You know he could go down. Brian Robinson Jr. is now the handcuff there. Kaleb Johnson is a rookie running back that has immense talent. Eventually, he will have his moment. It could be later this season. It could be next year. I look for this team to be weird with these running backs. Kenneth Gainwell is getting a lot of touches. Jaylen Warren is going to be the starter. Jaylen Warren's good in pass protection. They're going to be using Jaylen Warren a lot. And Kaleb Johnson will get his opportunity somewhere down the line. It may be due to injuries. It may be due to them thrusting him in. Arthur Smith is there. He was weird with Bijan Robinson. I expect him to be weird with Kaleb Johnson. And now we're looking at Braelon Allen. This is another deep stash, another upside play. I think he should be drafted in all leagues. I don't think he should be sitting on the waiver wire. 8-team leagues, I guess that's fine. But all 12-team leagues, he needs to be drafted. 10-teamers, he needs to be thought of in heavy light. If I have Breece Hall, I'm getting Braelon Allen. If I'm in the later rounds, I'm looking for an upside play. Odds are I'm getting Braelon Allen. He's one of my favorite players in the later rounds just due to his sheer upside in his game-breaking ability and what he's been doing in training camp. Those are the batch of players today. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I want to hear about that. Make sure you hit that subscribe button on the way out. One thing for watching. Catch you on the next video.